Hello, hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to Mass Effect 2 Legendary Edition. In the last episode, we made our way to the hospital where Clan Weyrloc are holding Maelon against his will. I say that with a pinch of salt because the only confirmation we've had that Maelon is here unwillingly is Mordin. He's the one saying that Maelon's been kidnapped, but no one else actually is. We even spoke to the clan speaker, and he didn't really say, oh yeah, we're holding him, we've kidnapped him. He was just like, oh yeah, he's our tool, we're not gonna let you take him. Like, I find it suspicious. Very, very suspicious. And to be honest, that seems like a Mass Effect twist.
Labs
that
likely
seems...
through there. Can smell antiseptic. Hint of dead flesh.
Just get us there.
Oof. Well, yeah, as I was saying, that seems like something that Mass Effect would pull. That seems like a twist that they bring out. Okay, let's... Ooh, hello. Oh, I don't like the chairs with the leg and arm restraints. That's not good. That's, Hello, I'll grab you in a minute. I just want to... Okay, there's an actual body. I don't want to move things on too quick.
Active console may contain useful data. One moment. Genetic sequences. Hormone mutagens still steady. Protein chains, live tissue, clone tissue. Very thorough. Standard treatment vectors. Avoiding scorched earth immunosuppressants to alter hormone levels. Good. Hate to see that.
Yeah, so Maelon is doing good work. He's doing excellent work here, and Mordin's just like, ooh, this... From a place of science, I admire this. From a place of wanting the Genophage to continue, this... Oh, no.
Most people wouldn't be so casual about developing a sterility plague, Mordin.
Not developing, modifying, much more difficult, working within confines of existing Genophage, 100 times the complexity. Errors unacceptable, could cause total sterility, malignant tumors, could even reduce effectiveness, worse than doing nothing. Had to keep Krogan population stable, 1 in 1,000, perfect target, optimal growth, like gardening.
Sir. Again, 1 in 1,000. If you were just making it so that a percentage of the population had dodgy testicles or a dodgy uterus or ovaries, okay, but you're not. You're making it so that they can still get pregnant, but they're going to miscarry. There is a huge difference. One is significantly less traumatic than the other. And that's not to say that, like, oh, if you're struggling with fertility, then that isn't traumatic. It is traumatic, but it's a theoretical trauma. The mourning that someone with infertility problems goes through, they're mourning, they're grieving for theoretical kids who could be but never will. If you're dealing with multiple miscarriages, then the baby is there. You can hold it, you can see it, you have grown it for however many months, and it has been born, and it is cold, and blue, and dead. And I'm just saying that if I were in that position, I would much rather grieve for theoretical kids than literal kids. He's being so... He is prettying up what he's done. He is absolutely prettying up what he has done.
Pretty it up however you like. You're talking about murdering millions.
No, murdered no one. Altered fertility, prevented fetal development of nervous system. have killed many, Shepard. Many methods. Gunfire, knives, drugs, tech attacks. Once with farming equipment, but not with medicine.
Again, piles of dead babies! Piles of dead babies! I do think that Naomi, she wants to hear... Because he keeps saying, oh, we were keeping it level, we were keeping it level. That's always the justification he's used.
You're saying you were working just as hard to keep their population from falling?
Yes, could have eradicated Krogan. Not difficult. Increased mutation to degrade genetic structure further. Chose not to. Rachni extinction tragic. Didn't want to repeat. All life precious. Universe demands diversity.
Yeah, I get that Mordin doesn't want to see the Krogan dead. Everything about him has indicated that he doesn't hate the Krogan. He's not like, oh yeah, let's fuck up the Krogan. Yeah, all dead babies. Yes. Like, he's not taking any joy in what he's doing. But again, those mothers that have grown a baby for however many months Krogan pregnancy is, and then birthing something that is deceased, like, have a conversation with them. Have a conversation with them and tell them that, oh, I haven't killed anyone. I haven't killed any of your kids. I haven't done that. Like, do you think they'd agree, Mordin? Do you think they'd agree with your statement that, oh, I haven't killed anyone. I haven't murdered anyone?
What was it like working on the Genophage modification project?
Best years of my life. Wake up with ideas, talk over breakfast, experiments all morning. Statistical analysis in afternoon, run new simulations during dinner, set data runs to cook overnight. Laughter, ego, argument, passion, galaxy's biggest problem, massive resources thrown at us. Got anything we wanted.
Yeah, and are you still close to them?
Do you keep in touch with your old team members?
No. All changed with deployment. Made test drop on isolated Krogan clan, hit rest of Tuchanka when results were positive. End of project. Separate ways. Watching it end, watching birth rates drop. Personal. Private. Not appropriate for team.
I'm not sure if you've gone down in the world. Is that referring to what he's doing with us, or does that refer to what he was doing before running the clinic on Omega? I mean, either way, you know, he was part of this extremely select group, this extremely select team, where they apparently got anything they wanted because the problem was so vital, was so serious, it had to be fixed immediately and in the best way that they could. To go from that to running a clinic on Omega to dicking about with us.
Sounds like you were pretty important. How'd you go from that to running a clinic on Omega?
Wanted to heal people. Good use of last decade. Something easy, no ethical concerns. Understand rationale for modified genophage, right choice, still. Hard to sleep some nights.
The fact that he keeps prettying up his use of language, to me that does indicate that he realizes that, like, yeah, maybe I do have the blood of thousands of babies on my hands. Maybe I do. Mordin is extremely interesting. Mordin is extremely interesting because he has done something completely horrific. I think anyone would agree with that. Causing the deaths of countless infants. That is fucked. That is absolutely fucked. And yet, he takes no pleasure in it. I'd say he's shown in a rather sympathetic light. It doesn't... We get the option to be like, oi, fuck you, but it doesn't feel like the game is saying, oh yeah, this guy, you should hate him. You should hate him. Mordin seems like a very sympathetic character to me. Someone who did something horrific because they thought it was the best thing at the time, but then in years later they've kind of gone, oh shit, was that the best thing? Was that the best thing? And the guilt is seeping in. And he's using this, oh look, I never killed anyone. We were just affecting fertility. We were affecting fertility. I'm going to ignore all the dead children. I don't want to look at them. I don't want to see them, because then I have to acknowledge what I actually did. I'll have to stop, using this evasive language. I'll have to stop prettying up my statements and just acknowledge that I have killed all of these kids. Fuck. Like, that's how Mordin comes across to me. He's so interesting.
How can you agree with using the Genophage, Mordin? Look at what happened to Tuchanka as a result.
State of Tuchanka not due to Genophage. Nuclear winter caused by Krogan before Salarians made first contact. Krogan choices. Refuse truce during Krogan rebellions. Expand after Rachni wars. Splinter after Genophage. Genophage medical, not nuclear. No craters from virus. Damage caused by Krogan, not Salarians, not me.
Buddy, I'm gonna keep saying this, mounds of dead babies.
The effects on Tuchanka are still your responsibility. You upgraded the virus that kept them in barbarism.
Krogan committed war crimes, refused to negotiate. Turian defeat not complete. Krogan could have recovered, attacked again. Conventional war too risky. Krogan forces too strong. Genophage was only option. Krogan forced Genophage, us or them. No apologies for winning. Wouldn't have minded peaceful solution.
And speaking of that peaceful solution...
So if the Krogan banded together and formed a united government, you'd welcome that?
Yes. United Krogan saved Galaxy, destroyed Rachni. Genophage not punishment, simply alters fertility to correct for removal from hostile environment.
Again, it simply alters fertility by making miscarriages more likely. You can pretty it up however you like, but the reality is that all of these women are going through something horrific. And it's affecting everyone. I'm obviously going to focus on the women, but miscarriages are extremely hard on the men as well. That's their kid. They may not have been the one carrying it, but that's their kid, and it's dead. Oh. I think that Mordin is a good person who did something horrific. And I think if he was taking joy in this, then I'd be fucking disgusted with him. But it's the fact that he seems so... I think on some level he knows. He wouldn't have sleepless nights. He mentioned, oh, some nights it's hard to sleep. If your conscience was clear, why are you having trouble sleeping? Clearly, on some level, he's like, I've done something horrific. I've done something incredibly fucked up, but if I acknowledge that, then I have to acknowledge that how the Krogan have been treated is wrong, and there are so many problems. There are so many problems, and the Genophage, to some extent, fixes them. It is an easy solution. It is an easy solution, and it keeps the galaxy safe at night. Let's not focus on what's happening to the Krogan. Let's not focus on the toll it is taking on them. Let's just put a blanket over it and pretend we haven't seen it. If I acknowledge I have done something wrong, then I have to acknowledge that there should be a better solution out there. I have to acknowledge that we can't keep using the Genophage. We have to find something new. And that's too difficult. That's too hard. So just use the blanket solution. Use the blanket solution. It's an interesting quandary, because I don't know what should be done. I'm in a very similar boat to Naomi, I think, where I'm like, the Genophage is wrong. I don't know what should be done. This is way above my pay grade, but we can't keep doing this.
We're not going to find Maelon staring at consoles. Come on.
Okay, there's through there. Hello.
Dead Krogan, female. Tumors indicate experimentation. No restraint marks. Volunteer. Sterile Weyrloc female willing to risk procedures. Hoped for cure. Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
Sterile is such... Again, they're not sterile. They can grow a baby, but the baby will probably be born dead. That's... Just to say, oh, they're sterile, it pretties it up. It really does pretty it up. I think... clearly he's bothered. He's not a psychopath. He's done something awful, but he's not a psychopath. He's not taking glee in any of this. I think that Naomi wants to poke him a little bit. Oh, you keep saying sterile. You keep saying, like, oh, I haven't killed any babies, this, that, or the other. Then why are you so bothered? If you haven't done anything wrong, if they're just sterile, if you've just lowered their fertility, then why are you so bothered? Why are you so bothered by all of this if you haven't done anything wrong?
I didn't expect you to be disturbed by the sight of a dead Krogan.
What? Why? Because of Genophage work? Irrelevant. No. Causative. Never experimented on live Krogan. Never killed with medicine. Her death, not my work. Only reaction to it. Goal was to stabilize population. Never wanted this. Can see it logically. But still unnecessary. Foolish. Waste of life. Hate to see it.
And how often do you see this? Have you ever taken a look at the piles of dead babies? Have you ever taken a look at them? Maybe you should. Yes, that is harsh, but maybe you should see the realities of what you have done.
I didn't think you'd had much direct contact with things like this. Did you come to Tuchanka after dropping your plague?
Yearly recon missions. Water, tissue samples. Ensure no mistakes. Superiors offered to carry it on. Refused. Need to see it in person. Need to look. Need to see. Accepted as necessary. See small picture. Remind myself why I run a clinic on Omega. Rest, young mother. Find your gods. Find someplace better.
We've killed dozens already. No! No, game, now is not the time. I find that interesting. He needed to see because he needed to accept it as necessary, but it doesn't sound like he has. It doesn't sound like... It sounds like he has doubts. And we need to encourage those doubts. We need to encourage them. Because this can't continue.
I didn't expect spirituality from you, Mordin.
Genophage modification project altered millions of lives, then saw results. Ego, humility, juxtaposition, frailty of life, size of universe. Explored religions after work completed. Different races. No answers. Many questions.
Sounds like you were trying to deal with your guilty conscience. The doctor who killed millions.
Modified Genophage project great in scope. Scientifically brilliant. But ethically difficult. Krogan reaction visceral, tragic. Not guilty, but responsible. Trained as doctor, Genophage affects fertility, doesn't kill. Still, caused this. Hard to see big picture behind pile of corpses.
Again, it doesn't kill. The babies are just born dead. Again, piles of dead babies. We didn't kill them, though. We didn't kill them. God, Krogan reaction visceral. Well, yeah, when they're surrounded by the corpses of their children, you are gonna have a visceral reaction to that.
Can you really just rationalize it all away? How do you justify it?
Wheel of life. Popular Solarian concept. Similar to human Hinduism in focus on reincarnation. Appealing to see life as endless. Fix mistakes in next life. Learn, adapt, improve. Refuse to believe life ends here. Too wasteful. Have more to offer. Mistakes to fix. Cannot end here. Could do so much more.
Yet you could undo this. You could undo this.
If you need this much soul-searching to get over it, maybe the Genophage was wrong.
Had to be done. Rachni Wars, Krogan rebellions all pointed to Krogan aggression. So many simulations, effects of Krogan population increase, all pointed to war, extinction, Genophage or genocide. Save Galaxy from Krogan. Save Krogan from Galaxy.
Oh, I get that you ran simulations, but here's the thing. Simulations are rather lacking in a very crucial element, the human aspect. The Krogan aren't... You can't simply narrow the Krogan down to ones and zeros. You can't narrow them down to a simple binary. People are complex. They are multifaceted. They are capable of surprising you. Take the Urdnot camp. We have a mechanic. We have a guy working on agriculture. We have a guy who recites love poetry. Especially the last one. Would you predict a Krogan to do that? Probably not. You probably wouldn't even think to program that into your simulation. People are surprising. People are very capable of surprising you. I want to tell a little bit of a story here just to prove my point. I've always hated those questions of, oh, if you were in this situation, what would you do? Because I found that 9 times out of 10, people give a heroic answer. Something that they would never do. They would never do. I'll always remember back in high school, we were learning about World War II, and someone started asking, oh, if you were back in that time, if you were walking down a German street and you saw a German soldier beating up a Jewish person, what would you do? And without fail, every single person in that classroom said, oh, I'd intervene. I'd go up against the German soldier. I'd beat them up and I'd save the Jew. And the question came round to me, Callista, what would you do? And I said, nothing. I'm not going to fight a German soldier. I'm 13. Just like all of you. You're honestly telling me that you would fight someone with military training and a gun? And they're already beating someone up, so you know they're crazy. No, I'm not putting myself into that situation. Like, that's insane. And I've always hated those questions. Anytime I'm asked them, because my one character trait of which I am certain, I am a coward. I am a wimp. I am a wuss. I am the least bravest person that you could ever possibly meet. I do not view myself as brave in any way, shape, or form. And in a way, because I've always given a cowardly answer, I haven't taken my own advice. Which is, if you've never been in that situation and you're saying that's what you would do, I don't believe you. I've never been in a situation where I have to stop a fight. Me saying, oh, I'd run away, I wouldn't do anything, I don't know that's what I would do. However, because I've always given a cowardly answer, I've always accepted that as fact. Now, a few years ago, it was the early hours of the morning. I was asleep. It was pitch black out. And suddenly I was awoken by this almighty sound. It was one of the loudest things I've ever heard. I realised that the wall next to me was shaking. It had come from the back door. Something had slammed up against the back door. And then the burglar alarm went off. Now, if you had asked me what would you do in that situation, well, I'd say, oh, well, clearly I'm going to grab my phone off my nightstand, I'm going to find a place to hide, and I'm going to call the police. That wasn't what I did, however. What I actually did was I leapt out of bed, I ran downstairs, and I headed straight for the back door. Now, to cut to the chase, it wasn't a burglar. Thank God it wasn't a burglar, because I didn't stop to put on my glasses. I couldn't have seen anyone. If someone had been there, I would not have been able to see them. So thank God there wasn't anyone there. There had been this almighty wind during the night, and it had blown our garbage can into the middle of the backyard. And then this sudden gust had sent the garbage can flying straight at our back door, and it had hit with such a force. Like I said, it shook the wall. It shook the wall, and that's what triggered the burglar alarm. Now, all of this to say, I have always viewed myself as a coward. I have always been certain of that, yet when push comes to shove, when I thought my family was in danger, I did something that I consider to be incredibly fucking stupid, but I attempted to protect my family because I thought that someone had broken in and I need to go defend the home. People are capable of surprising you. Cowards can go after burglars. Warlords can become men of peace. Just because you ran simulations, that doesn't mean that was guaranteed to happen. For all you know, the Krogans could have entered some kind of Renaissance period. For all you know, they could have rejoiced. They could have sang in the streets. Their society could be so much more different. You don't know, because you can't narrow people down to ones and zeros. People are not binary. The Krogans are complex and multifaceted and capable of anything for good and for ill. Just because you ran simulations, that doesn't guarantee that was going to happen. Just because you ask someone, oh, what would you do in that situation, that doesn't mean they're going to do their answer. It didn't have to be this way. It didn't have. You could have cured them. You could have.
You could have cured the Genophage instead. Brought hope to the Krogan. They'd have rejoiced.
Assumes human reaction. Krogan stimulus response different. Harsh environment. Take chance to fight. Flee. Would have caused chaos on Tuchanka. Victor would have war economy. Bloodthirsty army. Galactic expansion only logical outcome. More war. Genophage saved lives. War would have ended.
That is the logical outcome. Are the Krogan logical? No, they are emotional. That isn't to say there is no logic to them. There is, but they are a highly emotion-driven people. You can't guarantee that as the outcome. You can't guarantee it. People are surprising. Cowards will run to defend their home from burglars. The Krogan could have done something different other than war. You don't know. You're hiding behind statistics.
So you're willing to sterilize a species based on the evidence of a few simulations?
Yes. Millions of data points. Years of arguments. Countless scenarios. All noted Krogan fragmentation as dangerous. No unified culture to support repopulation. Would have been war. Turians and humans destroying Krogan utterly. Genophage was better. Saved lives.
It saved lives and created mounds of dead babies.
Look at the dead woman, Mordin. It doesn't look like you saved her.
No, it doesn't. Worked with available data. Only option. No other possible. Doesn't matter.
You were working with the available data. Data. These people aren't data, they're real. They're real and complex and confusing, and there are a bunch of them. There are no guarantees. There's no guarantees with that. Anything could have happened. And I'm taking their money. Okay, what? Right, we want that. Big gap. Big gap. Aha. Another big gap with purple. There we go.
This might be useful.
Ooh, Krogan Vitality. Thank you kindly. That's something for you, I think, Grunt. Now then, you know what? I've only got like a minute left on my timer. How... This is where a map would be extremely valuable. Because I don't know how much more of this is left. Okay. Okay, so this... Excuse you. Oh, hello. Hello there, you're right. 1 second. 1 second, I'm just getting some money, pardon me. You. Then, we want you, and then diagonal with orange. You. Okay, now, hello.
You killed the Blood Pack guards.
Not Blood Pack, not member of Clan Weyrloc. Wrong clan markings.
I'm an Erdnot scout. Weyrloc guards got me. Brought me here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a missing scout.
The chief scout told us to watch for you. We've taken out the guards. Get back to Erdnot.
I can't. The Weyrloc did things to me. Drugs. Injections. Said I was sacrificing for the good of all Krogan. Experiments to cure the Genophage. Everything's blurry. Hard to think. Have to stay.
Mordin, can you do anything?
Mordin, can you get him back on his feet? Stims, maybe? Something to bolster his immune system?
You don't understand. I'm not too sick to leave. I have to stay. They're curing the Genophage. They're gonna make it all better. They have to keep doing the tests.
Caution, Shepard. Patient unstable, susceptible, brainwashed.
He's not been brainwashed. He wants to have kids. He wants to live his life. This isn't brainwashing. This is a man wanting what is best for his people.
Why do you want them to keep doing the tests?
This is my fault. I got caught. Wasn't strong enough. Not good enough. This is the best I can do. This is all I can do. I'm not big enough to have a real shot with the females. I'll never have kids of my own. But if I help undo the Genophage, then I mattered.
Oh. But I just feel so badly for this guy. I just feel so badly for him.
Millions of children will be born. Weyrloc children. They're gonna destroy the other clans.
But... No, they said I was helping Erdnot.
If you want to help Erdnot, you need to get back there. But it would take a real badass to make it back to camp while injured.
I can do it.
You? I said a badass, not some scout whining like a quarian with a tummy ache.
I can do it. I'm up. And I'm going to the female camp.
Damn right you are. Get back there and show them what you're worth. Go! Go!
Nicely done. Fortunately, subject is unlikely to be contagious.
There you go, buddy. Go get laid. Do it, buddy. Oh. Now, you know what? I am going to bring this episode to a close right here. Big discussion episode today. This has been so interesting. This has been so interesting. In the next one, we keep making our way through the complex, but until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.